Manchester United then taking on Crystal Palace, another home game at Old Trafford. Another game that Manchester United would be expected to win, just like that Aston Villa game, but that was absolutely horseshit, that one. And that just undermines to me why Louis van Gaal has got to go in the summer. There's just no question about it. You know, I'm looking at the table in the Premier League, and it's potential that Manchester United could still finish in the top three. Both Arsenal and Manchester City are both 4 points behind, ahead of us, and I mean, it's possible that both of them could lose one more game, draw the game they've got against each other. If Manchester United were somehow, by hook or by crook, to win every single game in the Premier League, we would finish above them then, which it would just be completely papering over the cracks if we finished third, because we have been absolutely abysmal. The football's boring, the style of play is just horrible, the fans are bored, I think the players are bored, everyone's just fucking bored of this shit now, and it's just got to a time where I'm just fed up and cannot wait till the end of the season. Now, obviously, I still want us to finish third or fourth and win the FA Cup. I'm not going to say I don't want us to fail just to get him out. That would be wrong, because I always want Manchester United to win, whoever the manager is. If there's some dickhead in charge that I don't want as manager, I couldn't give a shit as long as we win the cups and finish higher in the league. So I'm not saying that I want us to finish lowly just to get in the sack. Even if we finish third and were to win the FA Cup, which is really, really unlikely, but if that was to happen, I still think that he's going to go, because the style of play, they must have an agreement in place already, and it's just waiting for the season to end before they announce it. I'm pretty sure of it, because everyone's just bored of this shit, and no one wants to go and watch this bullshit. We're playing like West Brom at home. We are. It's just absolutely dog shit. No offence to West Brom, but we've got better players than that. We should be doing much better. Now, Crystal Palace are no better than Manchester United in terms of the style of the way they're playing at the moment, and their game against Arsenal was just as bad as Manchester United's. Absolutely dog shit, and they were lucky to come out with a 1-1 draw. They were just looking to catch Arsenal on the counter attack every time, and somehow they managed to get it when Cech fucked up a shot from distance. Should have saved it, definitely. He'd done the same against West Ham earlier in the season, and he'd done it again there. So they were actually fortunate to get away with a point. But hopefully that point for them has almost secured them safety. So going into this game, they don't really put too much emphasis on this game, and they're thinking about the cup game against Watford, because Manchester United have to win this game. There's no questions about it. And if Louis van Gaal plays two defensive midfielders in this game, I'm going to be fucking pissed off, because too many times at home this season we've seen players playing too deep in that midfield roles, the defensive midfield roles. If he plays Carrick and Schneider in this game, it's just going to be an absolute joke. You know, the other day we saw Marouane Fellaini in there, who I'm not the biggest fan of. But, you know, really, if Herrera's fit, we need to see Schneider and Herrera in the midfield, because this is a Manchester United, on paper, comfortable game at home. We should be going all out to attack. This is just an absolute joke from Manchester United, playing this stupid tactics. But I would expect Louis van Gaal to make a few changes for this game, with that cup game coming up on the horizon, because we know Louis van Gaal wants the FA Cup. He doesn't give a shit about top four. If he could get the FA Cup and get the sack, he's not actually going to give a shit. All he wants, he said this the other week, all he wants is to win a title in England, and that will give him his trophy, the FA Cup. He knows that's what he wants. He doesn't give a shit about Manchester United next season if he gets the sack and we're not in the Champions League. All he cares about is himself, which is selfish, to be honest. He's getting paid big money to do this job, and it shouldn't be the way from Louis van Gaal. But I think we're going to see some changes. Hopefully at the back we're going to see Fosu Mensah come back into the team at right back. Valencia didn't do too bad. Did actually set up the goal along with Wayne Rooney, so not too bad from him. He hasn't played a lot of football lately, Valencia, but I would like to see Fosu Mensah come back in there. I think he's turned into our best right back now. It's going to be Blind and Smalling again. Blind does really need a rest. He's played so much football lately. He has got better lately, but he did have that wobble where he was looking on his last legs. But he's played so much football this season. But, you know, it's the way it's got to be, with the likes of Jones not really hitting it this season with injuries and whatnot, and not a lot else options in that centre of defence. I would like to have seen Cameron Borthwick-Jackson come back in on the left-hand side. Hopefully he will for this game, because Rojo's definitely not helped himself at all lately, been pretty poor. I thought he was going to be a quality player for Manchester United. Certainly I would prefer to see him at centre-back, but you know what Louis van Gaal's like, doesn't want to split out that Blind and Smalling partnership. Now in midfield, if Herrera's fit, he's got to play alongside Schneider. There's no point in playing Carrick alongside him for sure. I think Carrick might have been injured for the other game as well, but no point at all playing Carrick alongside Schneider. We've got to go for this. We've got to score some goals in this game. No point. We can't. Anything other than a victory is no good. If Herrera's not fit, well, I'll probably sooner see Wayne Rooney in midfield instead. I just do not want to see Marouane Fellaini in that midfield in this type of game. But he's probably going to do that. Then moving further forward, God knows what he's going to do on the wings. I'm hoping to see Martial come back into the team on one side, Jesse Lingard out on the other hand side. If Wayne Rooney's in midfield, then it'd be Juan Mata in that number 10 with Rashford up front. But he may well choose to rest Rashford, put Wayne Rooney in the number 9 role. You know, I don't know, and it will be Fellaini in midfield. But I just do not want to see Fellaini in midfield at all for this game. I'm not the biggest fan of Wayne Rooney being in midfield, but we're a bit short on options if Carrick's out and Schweinsteiger's injured. But I just don't want to see 2 defensive midfielders in there. It needs to really be Herrera if he's fit. But, you know, we should be beating this Crystal Palace team anyway. They looked a poor old lot. I mean, Arsenal really threw that game away at the Emirates Stadium, only getting a point in that game. They never really looked like dangerous at all for me in that game. Zaha started on the bench. He looked a bit more dangerous when coming on. Almost put Adebayor in at one point when he come on in the second half. But I would expect them to rest players, so I don't really know who the danger men are going to be if they do decide to rest some players. But, you know, Adebayor's not really a danger man, but he could be starting this game. I think there will be some changes, definitely. I think Manchester United are hopefully going to get the victory, but you just never know what Manchester United's going to turn up against these lesser teams that are fighting down the bottom. You know, Crystal Palace are safe for me, got 39 points. I think they're 8 points clear of Sunderland, so they're pretty much certain to be in the Premier League next season. So they don't really have to try too hard in this game, worrying about getting to the FA Cup final, which we could potentially play them in again in a few weeks' time. So I'm going to go for a Manchester United win in this game. I'm going to say Manchester United win it 2-0. I'm putting my neck on the line that we score more than 1. I wouldn't be surprised if at half time it's still goalless in this game, because I've seen a stat that Rashford's actually scored, I think it's 3 goals in home games in the first half in the Premier League, and we've only scored something like 6 or 7 or something in the first half of games all season, which Old Trafford, that is absolutely shocking statistics. And Louis van Gaal, you've got to take the blame for this. In Manchester United, we shouldn't be playing this cautious football, backwards, sideways passing, not at all. We're Manchester United, and I cannot wait for it to end. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts ahead of the game. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're trying to get to that 2.5k subscribers, so help us do that. Like the video, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See you.